Two monks, we just named them Yasmi and Nomi. They're returning back to the monastery, and on the way, they have to cross a river. And just as they're about to cross a river, they hear a woman crying. So Yasmi goes up to her and asks her what was troubling her. She actually has to cross the river, but the river is so full, so she's fearing that she'll not be able to get back to her toddler, and she's fearing that he would cry for her all night. So Esme offers to help her, so he carries her and leaves her on the other side of the bank. And Yasmi and Nomi continue on the walk towards the monastery. And after half an hour into the walk, Nomi, in a very agitated tone, speaks up. You know what you have done? And Yasmi says, this is very calm. Yes. He says, no, you carried the woman. Yasmi is like, so? A master said, never look at a woman. You went and spoke to her. A master said, never speak to a woman. You touched her. And a master said, never touch a woman. You carried her. You've done something very wrong. For which Yasmi very calmly looks at Nomi and says, yes, but I've dropped her half an hour ago. It is you who's still carrying her.
I love that story because it illustrates how much in our minds we carry our past or the worries about the future or the anxieties and so much here. And we're not actually present to our lives, which in this moment, typically, if you're really here for it, is quite beautiful and quite awesome if you're not listening to this thing.
Absolutely. And Yasmi clearly represents that state.
Yes.
In a beautiful state, he's just going to the woman, sees what is needed, does what is needed, and then continues with life.
Yes.
But Nomi is very agitated within, continues in the state of agitation, and continues in that state of agitation even after the event is over. And he's not being present to life.
Yes.
A beautiful state is a state where you are being present, a state in which there is no inner conflict. It is not an emotional high, but it is a state where you're feeling so connected to life, connected to people, to life. And what takes away this beautiful state is the suffering state.
And how would you define that as a suffering state for anyone?
Suffering state is any state in which you're experiencing an inner disturbance. It could start off as irritation, as frustration, as loneliness, as sadness, as anxiety, as fear, as insecurity. And what is it that an individual is nurturing or fueling at any point of time? Because there are only two states. Krishnaji always says.
Yeah. There are only two states that we experience life from. There's no third state. Whether we are a Christian, Muslim, Hindu, whether we're a Chinese, Indian, Japanese, or American, whether we're a 3-year-old child or a 100-year-old person, man, woman, anyone on this planet, we are only experiencing life from these two states, either a suffering state or a beautiful state. You are either relating to your child from a space of love or from a space of confusion and conflict, not knowing how to take care of your child. You're either going to work from a space of connection, connected to the vision that you're doing, or you're just conflicted, not knowing what you're going to do with your life. How is this day going to be? You're constantly in a state of worry, not knowing how the day is going to unfold. So these are the only two states that you're constantly living from. So the most important question in life is, what state do I want to live my life from? What state do I want to be a parent from? What state do I want to be a husband or a wife from? What state do I want to go to my work from? What state do I want to be a leader from? That's the most important question. And if we can find the answer, which is a beautiful state, then life becomes beautiful.
Because behind everything that we're seeing in life, whether we're deciding to be together or to separate or to take up this job or another job, anything that you're seeing behind war or peace that you're seeing in the world, the division that we're experiencing is one of these two states. And unfortunately, we're not given sufficient attention to our state because our life is revolved about what we can show off to others and how much we can achieve. Nothing wrong with it, but if it can come from a beautiful state, it'll be nurturing to yourself and you can also be nurturing to others.
Yeah.